Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I would recommend Angel Care to anybody. They have really helped me regain my strength.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
I couldn't have survived this without Angels Care.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're in the halls of Washington Elementary with Washington Elementary Principal Alan Park. A look at Washington Elementary, now being repurposed for early childhood connections. Some reflections on the years of Alan Park and Washington Elementary. Give us some of those thoughts and ideas, Alan.
Well, it's been a tremendous 25 years. We've had excellent staff. You go back and think of some of the staff that we've had, it's just been tremendous. I've had great opportunities working with some exceptional people, exceptional educators. Mm-hmm. And so, I've been able to learn and grow here at USD 489 and have appreciated the many opportunities that we've had here.
Through the years, we've known the staff, the caring attitude, the dedication, the involvement, and it's not only the administrators, teachers, of course, obviously, but it goes through the custodial staff, the lunch staff, anybody that's connected with the kids at Washington, they're really involved with them.
It's been a real blessing because like you mentioned, every part of the staff had a true dedication and a love of children. Mm-hmm. And for instance, I had a privilege of working with my secretary, Sally Joe Hanhart, and Fred Pullman as a head secretary and custodian for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. And for the three of us to work together, that's real rare. Yeah. And that was just a really great opportunity, and really enjoyed that partnership and friendship with those and all the other staff. I mean, you could name, I would hate to miss somebody because everybody goes back to the long tradition that was started with Warren Macy, mm-hmm. or and before that. I mean, I think Washington's always been a family-oriented, that's been the tradition here at Washington, and the staff, it doesn't take long. They come in and they embrace that, and they love that, and they've always mentioned that this is one of the favorite places that they've worked, and so that was a great opportunity.
I'm glad you mentioned family because that seemed to be a core of what the Washington elementary staff was all about.
I definitely agree with that because we have a special family here and a special group of kids, and we not only had the kids but their grandparents and their parents. We knew all of those kids and their families, and it was getting to the point where I was teaching working with kids that I had their parents mm-hmm. in school when they were in grade school. Yeah. So that dates me, but it was a great opportunity to see those different generations.
That's what we call experience, Alan.
Okay.
And you can't buy it, you can't put a price tag on it, believe me.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're in transition with this becoming Early Childhood Connections. You have been kind of tasked, I guess, by the board as the transition coordinator. What's involved here with that?
Well, that's been a great opportunity too. When the decision was made, we wanted to make sure that it's the best and most positive way that we can help with this transition, because it is, like we said, families have been going to school for generations. Mm-hmm. We had one of the very first pictures back in 26 with the first group, and we had some of those grandparents on that picture. And it was neat for the kids to see that they had some connection way back. So we've worked hard to try to get the majority of the families the place that they wanted to go to school. They had 4 other options, and so we had them rank their options, and then we worked hard starting in the end of February. Mm-hmm. And I would say in about a week we had most of the families notified and got most of the first and second choices. There are a few third and fourth just because we ran out of space. We are very tight in the district right now with classrooms and space available in all the schools, but we have Washington students going to all 4 schools, and so we've been working really hard with those principals of working well with us and trying to embrace them the best they can. At the end of the year, we actually got 4 buses, and we took all the kids to all the different schools, so they at least could to walk in the door, meet the principals for a short time, and see their building. So at least they've been in that building before, so it would not be a totally new experience for them next here in August.
That's a good introduction for those youngsters who probably have a little anticipation and yet reservation as well.
That's right, and we had a lot of other things that we did. We had guest speakers come in at the end of the year. We had groups that Chris Munch here locally could talk about loss and that transition, and Monty Selby, a voice from the past, came in and worked with the kids. And those are things that really help them, and for the kids to know right away that they're not alone, and that we're here to support them all the way through this process.
And there's some programs that Washington Elementary was unique for that are going to be continuing. That's good news.
Right, we had a lot of interest programs that the kids liked and helped them before and after school and during school, and we're trying to work with those partnerships because we've had great partnerships throughout the years. Especially Fort Hays, we had individuals that would help kids. They just love kids, and so they knew that we would work hard for them and get them the bang for their buck, I guess. And so that was a great opportunity for me as transition coordinators to work with the other principals and to make sure those didn't die and that they're moving on and hopefully continue to work to help with kids.
Rotary Club was a big partnership too, wasn't it?
The last few years, we were struggling because of the numbers, and we couldn't have a book fair, and so they stepped in and helped us provide books for kids, and we were able to give everybody in the building twice a year. They could go in and pick any book that they wanted, and that was always a pleasure and one of their favorite projects because they came and helped and actually saw them and assisted with them getting the books. And so we're working to try to continue that in some fashion. It won't be quite the same because we've got to make some adjustments to make it work for a different building.
And what about the Washington staff, those people that worked with you?
We had a great staff. We had the last few years it's dwindled down a little bit with different cuts and things like that. So every staff member will have a position in the district. They're all going to all the different buildings. So we have some going everywhere. But so those kids will see familiar faces in some of those buildings, which is going to be positive too. From the counselor to the kindergarten teacher, of course, everyone will have a position in 489.
And they'll be able to still connect with the kids,
That's
which is
right.
the whole primary purpose of this.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So now it comes to October, retirement for Allen Park.
That's right.
How does that feel?
It's a new chapter in my life. I didn't know it was going to be coming quite this soon, but change happens, and my family and I are embracing that, and we don't know what will quite be in store for us, but we're hoping to stay in Hays, and we love this community. We've invested a lot here, and we hope to continue as long as we can.
Well, and you've got to be connected with education in some form, Allen.
I always hope to be connected somehow to help the kids that I've loved to work with and their families for so long. So surely there's some way that I can continue to do that.
And what about the family now? The young Parks, where are they now? Not so young anymore, but
no. But they're now in. We've got them in 2 schools, not in 3. Our youngest is Nick is in middle school, and then I have 2 daughters. They'll be in Hays High, and then my oldest daughter is going to Fort Hays. So yes, we're connected in a lot of areas right now.
Any particular plans specifically for retirement to fill the days and the time?
I've talked to a lot of different things, but being October is coming around, it's kind of a different time in the education community. So we're just going to check out all the options out and see what's available.
Hobbies, interests?
Well, As Jeff knows, I used to be a shop teacher, so I've got tons of projects. My wife has a long list that she would be glad for me to start whittling away on. So we'll see what happens.
How's the progress coming for the repurposing of the building for early childhood? That is going to be an advantage for at least the early childhood programs, of which there are many in the district, to serve different needs of children.
This is a beautiful building. It's been well maintained throughout the years. The district has done an outstanding job.
It looks new. It really is. It's amazing.
It is terrific, and the repurposing is going very well. They're making some changes that they needed to do for the early childhood piece, but they're bringing some offices from all the district, and so that should open up some rooms in other areas in the district. So it will be all housed in one place, and there's some advantages to that. And so I think it's going very well.
As mentioned earlier, you referenced our producer, Jeff Durall, who I guess you had in class.
I did.
Well, it's time for...
I had that privilege.
Are you sure that's the word you want to choose? Maybe now is the time to reveal the real Jeff Durall. You think, Alan?
I can still picture where he was sitting in class, and you probably could guess. But I enjoyed Jeff in class. He was
I would suspect right up there under your thumb, probably. But there was one question that Jeff wanted me to ask finally. If you would relate again to him, because his memory is, somewhat lagging from time to time, the 4 strokes of the internal combustion engine.
Well, that's.
He's gone now. He's left the building because he knows he is in real trouble with the principal again.
Jeff was in class, and that was one of the things that we did work on. And there's some first graders right now who could do that, because going out for lunch, we would go through and we would talk about that. So there's some first graders who were kindergartners last year who knew the 4 strokes of a 4-cycle engine.
And it must have worked, because he can still recite that. One of the few things he has committed to memory from his years of education.
He has changed some of the names, but it's still accurate.
And probably a good idea, other than the editing part, to not review those at this time. Alan, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to you and the Washington staff for the service, the dedication, the commitment, and the caring you brought to legions of children at Washington Elementary.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
You are a real educator, Alan Park.
Thank you very much.
Our community connection. Thanks for watching.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.